My second presentation I'm going to read because I knew I'm not going to heal that fast, and I don't want to smudge what I have to say. I want to use precise words, and if any of you will need what I'm going to say in print, because I have the feeling you can use it in other places, won't mention any names of superior workers in your companies, you're much obliged. I'll send it to anyone who wants it, okay? So B2B in my case is not P2P, it's back to basics. When it's concerning content, sorry, Limor used the clicker, okay. The business culture we're living in has changed more in the past 3 years than in the prior decades. That change carries consequences, and I'm going to talk about the way they affect content writing and management. As we well know, great content cannot stand alone, isolated, in an organization that refuses to adapt. And we know some of those. Yet change can start from content, because even if you have come to believe differently, content, the story, is the core of any business. Businesses will soon be about near instantaneous response. You're going to hear about this also later in the afternoon. The emerging reality is about having to do business in a world that is increasingly, immediately, and synchronous. The decision-making cycle has reduced, although sales cycles seem to lengthen. If you feel your customers are taking their time, it is because they too are still trying to adapt to the speed and can feel more than ever the fear of taking decisions in real time. You want to create an advantage where they are wiping away the remnants of their confusion, which won't take much longer. If I could sum it all up in one sentence, asynchronous businesses are going to sink. Those who will sink first are those that will not leverage their communication systems. And I'm talking about managing the story, not only the technological platforms. Customers, think about this, customers can appear via technology anytime, with any kind of question or need along the education to purchase cycle. They can arrive in public and without even introducing themselves properly. Once upon a time, they could do that only if we met face to face. Then they got a phone, then they got an email, and now they are using multifaceted communication channels, and boy, can they use them. This situation brings in a new set of challenges, and here they are. You can't always verify their identity, the people who are speaking to you, are asking you for things, yes? You don't always have the time to contemplate and have meetings while they appear. Multi-layered decision-making cannot prevail. Yes, they won't wait there for that long. It needs to be substituted by coordination and delegate and trust, which are faster processes. The definition of privacy is changing. Customers might be advocating or attacking your business even without considering if they should talk about having an interaction with you or not, which is tremendously weird, but that's what's happening. Their expectations have become monstrous. The keyboard became mightier than the sword. The great thing about all this, although you might not share my joy right now, there is nothing new about these challenges, really. The business and organizational worlds have built themselves a well-kept fortress of power that stands upon the outcomes of the Industrial Revolution. But that was long ago, and the fortress walls are crumbling fast. The good news, we know how to take care of human interaction since the dawn of time. We just had a reason to forget for a while. So social media technologies have created a demand for fundamentals: authenticity, participation, and engagement. I've mentioned those three before. Special effects are fine, but if they do not touch the core experience, they are not necessarily going to get you a very good ROI. Resources and measurements, that's what everybody wants to know today, everyone talks about that, but eventually that's because businesses have not yet adapted the social web. What you will eventually want to measure is authenticity, participation, and engagement. Those are created by content, while each and every customer touch point is an opportunity to win hearts and minds, money and support. Activate your adaptation, because the pressure you feel is real. What do you do about it concerning content writing and management? Well, welcome to the ancient art of storytelling, and I'm not talking about being a nice old lady, which I'm not, I mean nice, wearing a pullover and glasses reading stories to kids. I'm talking about the most effective communication mechanism invented by mankind. Why? Because in spite of all the technological excitement, the human brain has been on a slower evolutionary path. Our brains still respond to content by looking for the story to make sense out of the experience. No matter what the technology, the meaning starts in the brain. The content producer may get the credit, but the success of the communication effort rests in the resonance, authenticity, and richness created by the storyteller. This is a skill worth learning, and luckily enough, choosing to attend this event wins you a free ticket to the shortest storytelling crash course ever known to man, and you are part of the gala launching event. Obviously, becoming a great storyteller can take between 5 to 10 years, but what I'm going to show you is a tool that will help you initiate an adaptation route starting tomorrow morning. What you're looking at is a single card. It's not from the Kabbalah, not connected to the Kabbalah in any way, that shows you the process of managing a single content unit or an entire content, I don't know what, global portal. Okay? You can download it eventually where you'll be able to download from. But what you see in the middle is the key to understanding what the client wants. And we always start by trying to figure that out and asking them questions. Again, you're going to hear more about that later, but here you're listening to the sketch. We want to know how customers phrase their problems. How do they tackle into a problem? Why are they coming at you? They need something. How do they figure out that they need something? So one day, once upon a time, they woke up in the morning and they couldn't continue their regular walk. Something was intruding, and you want to find out what that something was. And they tried various ways to figure this out, but they couldn't. That's how they met you, or that's how they're getting interested about you. Maybe you can help me figure out my problem. And what you want eventually to happen is that they will have a moment of truth and say, oh, that's the vendor I'm looking for, and purchase. Okay? That sounds like the Garden of Eden. Possible. So they phrase their problems in a certain way, and you first of all want to listen and find out their language. Okay? Then you can know what they need. At the same time, because you're a serious B2B company, you know a lot. You know a lot about the context, about the problems, about the competition, about various solutions offered in the past or different than yours. And the customer wants to know that you know all that stuff, by the way. But he doesn't want to read it all. It's enough that you have to read it. Okay? He wants the solution, or she. So eventually when you have to create a content piece, all they want to know is, do you know what my problem is? Okay, so I'll read more. Okay? Show me that you know it. If you show them what you call the education phase and give them some information about the context of the problem, they say, okay, she knows a thing or two, so I'm willing to listen to the second phase of information. Second phase doesn't have to be a book. It can be one paragraph or one sentence. And that second phase already shows that you know that you're part of the competition and you have a special offer that they might like or not, but you know what your special offer is. And if they can figure out from your content unit that you know what you're talking about, they'll go to the third phase. Okay, tell me how this can really answer a problem, which is my problem, but don't tell me to buy from you. Okay, just show me that I'm standing on the edge of a cliff and that you know my situation. That should be the last part of content before you leave them alone to take their own decision. That's the moment of truth. End of story. But that's how you can run an entire content world, by gathering information about the context of what you're doing and the context of the problems that you're answering, stuff that answers the senses, the sixth sense too. Numbers don't answer senses, tell them stories. Numbers are important, but they're only part of the world. Six senses make me feel something, okay? They want to know the elements of your world as a company and the elements of their world as people who need a solution, okay? And give me something to look at, yes? By the way, text is also something to look at. You don't need to necessarily make video, okay? Make a clear choice. Every time you meet someone you need to give content to, try and figure out who they are, eye level. Eye level is not low. Eye level is their eye level. I don't think all B2B customers are tremendously short or very, very tall. Eye level is something that they need to understand and they can understand. And give them what they want. One piece at a time. Okay, don't pour it all over them. So, taking into consideration that you already want to walk out of this tent. Okay? And enough with my velvet-like soprano voice. I'll conclude by saying this. You want to know, why did they approach you? What's their problem? What's their need? In their words. Where did they start from? Looking at the problem. Where do they want to be? What's their dream? What does the solution look like for them? Take them through 3 phases until they can get it. But get it is not, oh, if you get it, it means that you buy from me. No, that they get it, how you can answer the problem. Leave them alone with the need for taking a decision and don't tell them what it should be. Observe them, create an intention, aim at eye level and create clear action. They trust, so don't betray. You know what makes up their problem. You walk your talk in the real world. You are linked to the bigger picture. You can envision the way their world will look after a solution is implemented. Thank you.